Alrighty, round 5 here. Remember, in a Solforge draft, you go until you get 2 losses or 7 wins. Nexus Pilot plus Aegis Conscripts is pretty solid here. But we could also go the Abomination route. The Abomination route worked out pretty well for us last time. We do have a lot of Abominations in the deck, so they are not to be underestimated. Aegis Conscripts pumping not itself trades with Abyssal Brute, so that's pretty cool. I think I like making a big pilot here. Seems like it might be... Like, one thing that's cool about Nexus Pilot is it kind of puts your opponent on the back foot. They're like left trying to answer this, and then that allows you to level up some other stuff like Beta and, well, Strategist is still pretty good, but it allows you to level up Beta and like without any type of punishment or anything. I would love if they played a 5-7 here, because normally that would trade, but we'll get the positive battle off on it. That would be pretty sweet. Rot Wanderer killing Aegis Conscripts. Okay, well, Beta will take out Brute then, I suppose. It actually leaves me maybe a good group meal play. I could go like Strategist group meal. We positive battle here and we just eat this completely, because it'll get shrunk down to 1 attack, which is then mitigated by our armor. Well, seems like a worse play now. Maybe we just let this guy die. And by let it die, I mean play an Alloyin Strategist and still get the positive battle here. You know what? That's actually pretty good for us. Even though my opponent did level an additional card, they leveled Field Marshal. I kind of brought this up about meta transfer during the draft. Well, you do get to level up an additional card. This isn't really a card that you want in your deck. This is almost akin to a level 1 card still. There's a card called Sonic Burst, which is just -8 attack to a creature. That's a level 1 card. And it's worse than like a level 2 Electronet. So you're not really leveling anything by leveling meta transfer. You're solely leveling the card that you play, which isn't really gaining a level advantage over your opponent, because if you have to play a meta transfer on rank 3, yeah, not great. I could have played my Zithian Hulk there instead, but Beta is definitely a better level 3. Again, I just mentioned Beta is going to be getting a slight buff tomorrow. Here I may even just Tech Explorer just to cheat through those, because I don't want to play 2 Tech Explorers for my turn. That's how we lost game 1. I played 2 Tech Explorers on rank 1, I think. You have to fact check me there, but I'm pretty sure round 1 we played 2 Tech Explorers on rank 1, which meant that we were too far behind when trying to deal with the other stuff like Umbric Lasher and Yetis that my opponent was playing. I don't think we lost just because Tech Explorer. I think my opponent also had some pretty sweet plays on top of that, but for sure, did not help. Ooh, Falnax Squadron. That's a really good one. We're going to have to move our Strategist up on out of here. I guess Ionic War Charger can trade here, though, so that's pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. I am going to move this out and kind of just sacrifice my Falnax Squadron. I could Field Marshal, but unfortunately Field Marshal isn't enough to take out the Arbiter. It's only 7, and this is at 9. So I think I just have to play Ionic War Charger here. And I don't really care that we're, like, losing this battle here. The timing of it's awkward. Oh, frick. That was a huge mistake. So, when you play your second card against Envillian Arbiter, typically this doesn't come up that often, but when you play your second card, you discard your hand, which means I just got no level out of my Tech Explorer. That might be huge. Because now instead of having 2 level 2 Tech Explorers in my deck, I have a level 2 and a level 1. That could really come back to bite me. These two are going to trade in 2 battles here. That is really, really unfortunate. I still like a lot of the cards that I've leveled, but my opponent has played some pretty sweet cards too. We have to hope that they miss on Falnax Squadron, which, by the way, if you're not drafting Falnax Squadron because it looks like it has a weird ability and awkward stats on player level 1, definitely draft more Falnax Squadrons. This card is legit. Even if you don't get the trigger, it's a 14-17 and a 7-11, which we talked about stat lines a little bit. That stat line is great. Okay, they're going to positive battle, and positive battle, and kind of blow us out here. Yikes. So I'd like to play Strategist. So I'm going to play a Strategist. Yeah, we can still make this work here. We're not that far behind. I still think we've leveled... I think we've leveled on par cards. If we had leveled our Tech Explorer with our Tech Explorer, I would say that we were winning right now. Like, this would just be a free Tech Explorer. As is, I still think we're doing okay. But, yeah, definitely punished for that. Jason, I've looked at a few of the new Hearthstone cards. I have not done like a full delve into the new set though. But I am excited for it. It releases in just a few days and I'm probably going to start streaming a little bit more Hearthstone here. Alright, these are pretty good blocks from my opponent. I don't know why they didn't just take out Tech Explorer, but they're definitely awkward blocks for us. Again, I don't really want to put damage on my Alloyin Strategist. I'm kind of forced into putting damage onto Nexus Pilot, but it'll still survive as a 10-8, which is hopefully good enough. It means that it'll like negative battle some Forge Plate Sentries and stuff, but hopefully that is still good enough. And then I just got to figure out what I want to do with Alloyin Strategist here. I think the fact that my opponent played a bunch of level 1s means that they're likely to just have level 2 cards from here on out. They do have like the meta transfer, which we don't really have to worry about, but I think I am going to block here. Just don't want to take too much damage and get overrun. My opponent does have some things that might be very tricky to deal with. Specifically the Abyssal Brute plus the armor. That's going to be my opponent's main combination that can kill us here. But this is solid. Onyxian Marauder can just shake off the damage from Forge Plate Sentry, and Aegis Conscripts can maybe change the tide of battle in another lane as well. Alright, that is going to give this a +3/+3. I think if we give the armor to Marauder, we still positive battle this here. Let's see. So 7. $11, so it would take 5 health to go down to 4. Yeah, if we give this... Oh wait, this might not even need any extra help. I think Aegis Conscripts might want to pump our Nexus Pilot. Oh, actually, you know what I think we want to do? Onyxian Marauder can positive battle this Falnax Squadron here. Alright, that's definitely how we want to start off. Group Meal's awkward, but I think Group Meal just always kills us at any point. We're going to trade off Aegis Conscripts here, and then we have to figure out where we want the armor to go. I kind of want to put the armor wherever the Fell Strider spawns, other than in lane 1. And I also kind of want to just put it on a Nixium Marauder. Let's see. I'm trying to do some group meal maths here. We have to play this pre-combat or else we just get blown out by group meal. Group meal is going to keep this in a trade, well, or turn this into a trade. What if it group meals and we have this, though? You know what? I'm just going to hope that the Fell Strider... I'm just going to try to win this 50-50 on where the Fell Strider is going to spawn. Let's imagine it's going to plop back here. No, it goes in lane 1, so it was negligible. But I still got the armor off of the pre-combat damage. So we still have a 14-8 left over here. That was a pretty tricky combat. I'm not sure if I fully explained everything that was going on in my head there. So there's like the other option, because right now this is just a straight up positive battle. What if we give this 2 more armor and then they have to double battle because they group meal? So go up to 9. So take 4. Alright, well this works out great then if this is what my opponent has. Is this even a group meal? Oh, okay. It's an Alloyin Field Marshal. Gotcha. I was going to say, I don't think group meal works there. Sure. I don't really want to put damage on my Ionic War Charger either. But if I can shake off 2 of that damage, it's probably worth 7 life. We're about to rank up anyways. Hopefully it doesn't matter too much here. Forgot about Field Marshal. That's pretty much... Well, it's better than a group meal for sure. But it also was a 9/7 creature that itself could trade in lane 4. I kind of feel like with how many games I'm playing, it's tough to keep track of spoilers for new games. Trying to also just like keep in mind, I don't know. I mean, Magic is like the most important game, and I stopped looking at Magic spoilers a few sets ago. Not because I'm not like enthralled. I go to every pre-release, but sometimes you just can't get all that information in your brain. All right, so this is going to be a positive battle. We can play Field Marshal or Strategist to turn it into a trade. And then a Corpse Crawler sacrificing this. I just get to move this guy. So I'm not sure if that's great. At the same time, do I just want to move this guy where I could just play like a Strategist and then we are trading here? That's tricky. Could also just go Hulk Abyssal Maw. But I think I like Strategist Field Marshal just a little bit better. And I do want to trade off with this. Yeah. So we're going to trade here and then hit my opponent for 10. Not that much damage again. My opponent's got a pretty healthy 86 life points moving in to player level 4 here. Mobility is also pretty crucial in just being able to, like, say my opponent positive battles with Nexus Tech, just move over Strategist, finish off their dude. We did draw... we did draw 2 Abyssal Mauls here, so I guess we did get punished. This block's a little bit questionable. And then we have a trade here. So I could Alloyin Strategist and battle, or I could Alloyin Strategist, move it over, and then just play another creature here in lane 2. Thank you, General Ginyu. Alright, we're definitely playing this. Question is, do we move Alloyin Strategist and play a different creature in its spot? And I think we do. So my opponent needs now a group meal. And that will be an alright play for them, because it'll just shrink so many of our dudes. But short of that, I think it's just worth getting in the 5 points of damage, because over time that is going to add up. We've gotten a pretty good board advantage on my opponent here. This deck doesn't grow tall super well, other than like with Beta and the Nexus Pilot and then the Tech Explorer, of which we didn't draw and accidentally didn't level. Which would have definitely been relevant this game. Alright. So this we can finish off somewhat easily. We need 6 attack to finish this off. That we also need to find a way to finish off. Okay. So we can move these two dudes together. Play Alloyin Strategist here. Excuse me. And Beta here. Sounds good. So this is going to deal a little bit more damage to my opponent. This is going to deal a little bit more damage to my opponent. And then this is going to finish off what they've done. So, yeah, we're hitting them for 21 here, as well as trading off with their board. I can dig that. Yeah, this is the same deck as last stream, just finishing it off. I didn't play it at all over the weekend. Wanted to keep it all for on stream here. Oh, you know what I just realized, guys? That this icon should probably be better placed here for Solforge. Sorry about that. Didn't really think about that too much. Could also put it over the action button, I suppose, but that looks like a pretty good spot for it. It doesn't make me like resize it too much. Apologies if that was too in the way or distracting or anything there. It actually looks flush with this wall, doesn't it? I can't see that full screen, but yeah, it's almost exactly flush with this line. That's kind of cool. Alright, Falmax Squadron's going to take some damage, but pump up this Forge Plate Sentry. Sounds good. So this guy's going to survive at 6, which means Frankenbomb finishes it off. This guy's going to survive at 5, which means Technosmith finishes it off. And I assume we're also going to get a positive battle or a trade here with Alloyin Strategist. We need to find ways to deal 34 more points of damage across... Oh, okay. Now we need 7 more points of damage here. That's pretty awkward, because I cannot manage 7 points of damage. I guess that means I'm going to dodge. Alright, I'm not going to play Technosmith. I'm going to play an Abomination instead. Alright, put our opponent down to 28. We can Field Marshal or Tech Explorer or Alloyin Strategist to finish this off. Our Onyxian Marauder is not going to get the Regenerate bonus. And we do also want to consider the implications of pushing through damage against our opponents, though. Trading off a level 2 creature and leveling up a Strategist to level up Tech Explorer and Alloyin Strategist here seems pretty tempting. Alright. Deathseeker's going to trade with Zithy and Hulk. That is not a big deal. So it becomes a 4-6, and then this is a 5-5 against it. And Steel Welder Medic is a trade unless we play both Field Marshal and Alloyin Strategist. So the thing about playing Field Marshal and Strategist is it means that we also get... an 11-point Strategist. And we also get to keep around Hulk. I'm going to go for the damage push, neglecting to level Tech Explorer, and neglecting to play a Nixian Marauder here. Oh shit, that didn't even change this field of battle. So that was kind of irrelevant. Alright, that was definitely another mistake to add up here. But we can put our opponents down to 17 now, which is one Nexus pilot hit almost. Definitely playing a little bit sloppy here. I don't know what I was thinking. There were like infinitely better plays last turn, but I'm not the only person to make mistakes in Solforge. And, you can make mistakes and still win, sure. One thing that, it was actually a Brian Kibler article back in reference to Magic the Gathering. But it's a pretty interesting read. I believe it was Brian Kibler. There's a chance it's Mike Flores, but I'm pretty sure it's Brian Kibler. And it might actually even be a video on his YouTube channel. I'll have to look for it. But the basic premise is that you shouldn't let your mistakes completely override your plays so that like one mistake just makes you make a whole bunch more mistakes is the general idea. Yeah, I mean, I don't... I'm a little bit hesitant to, like, point out my opponent's mistakes in this video because I don't want to come off as, like, overly harsh, but for sure, none of my opponents have played perfectly so far. And you won't play perfectly either if you're watching this video and just getting into Solforge Draft. The important part is to... Wait, did I just not play perfectly? As I was... Oh, yeah. Okay, I definitely meant to play Strategist and then move over. But looks like it's not going to matter too much here. But that was silly. I just made a mistake as I was talking about mistakes. Alrighty. Let's focus. Let's focus up a little bit more, though. But yeah, perfect play is obviously super, super difficult. I don't think there's any group meal. You know what? Group meal's actually probably fine here. I think it's better than Nexus Tech. Because that still leaves me with a 14-17. Which I think is a lot better. Now, realistically, yeah. All I had to do was draw my 2 Alloyin Strategists. And each of those gets to deal 14 points of damage regardless of where they go here. But basically, the Brian Kibler article or video talks about just like... So, say my opponent... On the turn where my opponent played Group Meal, and what else did they play? Group Meal and Abyssal Brute? Just because they play the Abyssal Brute first and then play Group Meal, I am going to then notice that my opponent made a mistake. because you should always play your group meal after you've played all of your creatures. However, yeah, they played group meal, then they played Abyssal Brute. So this was clearly a mistake. If they had just played Abyssal Brute first, Abyssal Brute would have had +2 attack. It's a small thing, but it could add up, and it actually was relevant on that board state, right? Because I had a creature that Abyssal Brute would have killed in 1 rather than trading with. So that's a very relevant thing, and it is a mistake. But if my opponent had played the group meal and then gone, oh shit, well, I don't want my opponent to know I've made a mistake, so I'm just going to play another spell now, that would have been even worse for them. So even though you make a mistake, you should still then continue to make your best play, and my opponent's best play was then potentially Abyssal Brute. I'm not sure, I can't see their hand or anything. But it is important to notice that, like, even though they did make a mistake, they didn't compound that by continuing to make another mistake here. Alrighty, so this... Oh, nope, never mind. Let's wait for all the creatures to spawn. That's fine. So we'll put both of these here, and then my opponent will try to block my cards, and we'll just move them over to different lanes. I drew even more Alloyin Strategist. Again, maybe this deck doesn't matter this much for making perfect plays because, well, we drafted perfectly. That first pick was, probably wasn't really a contentious one. Alloyin Strategist, just the best heroic. So, yeah. Sometimes you get 4 of them. Sometimes that happens. Deathseeker, you're going to see it not do great work here, as it's not going to deal any damage on the first go-round, and then it's going to regen even more health, so it's just a double chump block. But one thing that Deathseeker is good at doing is just providing a double chump block in scenarios like this. Alrighty, we'll get some BM here by playing out some more Alloyin Strategists and seeing just how much damage we can hit our opponent for. Looks like 24, or 44 rather, down to -16. Sweet, that is round, what is that, round 5? Yeah, that's round 5, and I will see you guys for the next one.